Good afternoon. How are you all? And this webinar we have today is actually a question need to be answered to all the well-doing small businesses. Obviously, if you run a business with 20, 30, 50 employees, I know you know this webinar is very important to you. And you also sort of know that what can Ying tell me? I mean, it is a problem, period. And yes, it is a problem, period, at this special time. But if we understand how other people, how other business owners like you and me are doing, and that gives us a little bit of comfort, right? A lot of time when I talk about, when I do these webinars, it's really not because I know everything. It is more about, I know everybody. Does that make sense? Because I know a lot of you. So every one of you, your struggle and become a collective knowledge for me. So I know how to relate that. And when I see that become a pattern, and we know that it's important to talk about it, because while I'm talking about it, although I didn't offer you a formula like 1 + 1 = 2, but you realize there is a formula and you can create your own, and 1 + 1 don't have to equal to 2, right? Could be 11, why not? There was a 2-year-old and was challenging their mom, and 1 + 1 is 11. Why it is 2? And I don't think the mom can really answer that, because that is a scientific research the mathematicians were doing their lifetime to prove why 1 + 1 = 2. And obviously, before we do the webinars, and Catherine, Kat, I call her Kat, and she is our librarian as well. And she and Dr. Hao are two very strong hands of mine to put the content together for you. And so we want to give you what we knew, and on top of that, with a verification of practical means. So it's practical for you. It's something that you can literally use and practice immediately. All right. So before we do we go through our ideas and suggestions, want you to know that we have a job opening at a Community CPA. It is a digital marketer position. We want someone to come to help us to make our YouTube channel with more viewership and also subscribership. And we believe that our content is so good, and to not have that known to the world, to the businesses, the successful small businesses owner, that's our fault. Because when you are successful and you don't need these free services out of some nonprofit, because it is not going to help you. You need expert who knows how to bring you up to another level, grow your business from 1 million to 100 million. That is the people you're looking for. We are that people. So I want to make sure that that information is out there for the successful small businesses who are struggling to grow, because they're so good. And someone who can edit our YouTube video to be like what we called bite-sized video clip, so we can post that everywhere on the internet. So we can replace some negative ads for you and show up as a knowledge giver, and so you can learn from those video bites. So we're looking for that person, and show us what you can do already with our video, and send us a sample and let us hire you. That's who we are looking for. All right. And all our webinars, we have to announce there is no responsibility to the content we have for you. Obviously, we're not throwing wrong information on internet. It is our credit, it is our face, and our client trusts us. So we put our best forward for you. Knowledge expires. My interpretation might be not right. So there's so many reasons for us to make mistake. So asking you for forgiveness, number one. Number two, use your knowledge from our site carefully. And when you really needed to use our knowledge to do something, why don't you engage us to help you? That way you have the source of the knowledge and we will take good care of you. All right, let's understand today's job market. We're talking about how to incentivize employees. And every employee is entitled to walk away from you. They don't have to be bonded with you. They don't have to be loyal to you. They don't have to care about what you pay. And they may even want to take a lesser pay, but go somewhere else, right? So we're talking about the job market. And of course, they could move for $1 more. They move to somewhere else too. So right now, the job market is affected by inflation and the recession. And if you Google internet, you say, are we in recession? The internet tells you that we're not in recession yet, but everybody predicting recession. And as a successful small business owner, I will tell you that you need to look ahead. You cannot look at your booking record goes, well, I'm still kind of holding okay. You need to know what's coming because that is how you win the game. Just like when you play cards, you are guessing what other people coming up with, right? So you place your card and it is the same thing. It is not as wild as playing card. The recession is calculatable, is predictable, and most of the time it is what it is. People, if your Wall Street Journal start predicting recession, I don't think you have the ability to overturn that trend. It's just going there. It's going there. Inflation just hit new high 9.1%. What does that mean when you have 9.1%? That means everything you see on the market, it is at least 9.1% higher on the price. And of course, you may say, Ying, you're not right. I went to buy this and it was still the same price. We're talking about consumer market overall, 9.1%, that's very high. And that's the highest in the 4 decades from the past. We have never reached this high before. 4 decades. We're talking about 40 years. Okay, so with inflation this way, and the economy will slow down, and the production will slow down, recession will start. And the only way to not going there is the federal adjustment, the federal government coming to help with interest rate, but you know that is not. The federal government has so much of a deficit and their hands are tied. So a lot of it will fall on consumer, a lot of it. And you know, we already see today's job market, larger retailers and the larger corporation already start laying off, right? And the retailers at one time, they were the ones doing great during the pandemic. Like in Des Moines, the local market, most of the grocery shopping is either Walmart or Hy-Vee. And Hy-Vee, as a leading high-end consumer grocery store, and laying off 400 people in the last 2 months. And the total people they have to work in this market is only 10,000. So we're talking about large scale of layoff. The layoff is by functions. So they're laying off a lot of their marketing and IT divisions. And then, you know, on Wells Fargo side, they're laying off a lot of their call centers. Wells Fargo laid off a lot of people as well. So we are talking about large companies start to lay off. That's a sign of the labor market start to turn around. Remember last year, we had for a period of time, people resigning jobs like baby change diapers, and you hire someone, they leave in 10 days. And, you know, we experienced that as a small business owner, as a small but successful business. And we all experienced that. I knew you did. And of course, Community CPA did. There's no question. But those markets were so much driven by the big economy, right? It is not you know, why it is happening. There's no why. It is just people start to not having integrities into a commitment to a job. The job becoming something that is just a card they play. Even for $1 they would move. They don't consider anything else, right? And then you have this hiring start to slowing down on all the companies. Just it's global wide, and it is not just you. And so successful small business owners start to feel that, start to also feel that maybe it is time to slow hiring because people are not moving like they used to anymore. And we don't have to be so concerned of turnaround, right? So the salary increase start to diminish and your economy start to slow down, your revenue start to slow down, or maybe your clients start to drop, then of course, the salary will start to slow down. That is our market. And a lot of shopping around related to benefit nowadays, because of the market is going downwards, companies start to closing down their benefit. For health premium, there's a lot of shopping to be done. And we see a lot of our clients are doing that right now because they want to find a cheaper package. They want to reconsider the benefit that's out there. And the work from home is questionable. It is so questionable. Many of our clients, we heard them talking about if someone needs to work from home like that, they start to moving people into 1099 NEC, which means subcontractors. So there's a lot of movement related to that because they can't manage these people and they're really just not even in the same state. And we have one employer and didn't even know their employee moved out of Minnesota to Texas during the pandemic time. They didn't even know because she was just working virtually, right? And now they want her to come back and it's go, oh, I already lived in Texas for 19 months. Oh, wow, what? And so it is really, it's not right because if you move to Texas, you should have told your employer, so at least your W-2 should be adjusted, right? So it is absolutely not right to do that to the employer, to you, but people do that. And when that happens, if she is so remotable, if she doesn't even need to tell you where she goes, she does everything she wanted, maybe she's not your employee. Maybe she's your 1099, right? So that is today's market. So is work from home a solution? I got some statistics for you because I want my successful small business owner to think about that, to think about work from home. Are you going to allow your employee to work from home? Okay, I will tell you on June 2nd, 2022 this year, Elon Musk made a requirement to all of his employees. You either do this or you leave. So his word to his employee, it is required minimum 40 hours in the office. Well, you can work overtime. You can work, you're exempted employee. You should work more than 40 hours. That's fine. You can work at home, but at work, you have to put in 40 hours. So that's Elon Musk for Tesla. Okay, Tesla company just got away from work from home, 40 hours required. Now, let's look at this stats. 50% of workers are surprised to report they miss their commute. This is from Indeed, that job site. They did this survey. 50% of employees miss their drive around. 47% of the employee feels like they would have listened to more news if they have that commute time to themselves. 72% of workers, employees, need to reduce their work hours in order to accommodate home. Because they work at home, so the home things happening around them, they cannot come up with 8 hours. They need to reduce their hours, 72% of them. 74% of workers. There is a typo, right? Forgive me. And always remember, English is my second language. I have that as my scapegoat, right? So everything is not right, and I'll say, oh, it is English. It's Yinglish, English. So 74% of workers says remote work makes it harder to maintain relationship with peers. So 68% of them says remote work make it harder to maintain a relationship with their manager. Look at the percentage and evaluate work from home is a solution or not, right? And I already talked earlier, and some of our clients and realize that this worker is just no way to come back to work. They want to work from home. Then they evaluate whether that is an employee-employer relationship or that should be a 1099 relationship, right? And of course, to treat someone as a 1099, folks, and there is a whole new set of talk you need to understand to make sure that that was set up properly. So one of the best way to do is, I know I don't want to spend this hour to talk about how to avoid being audited by the government. They come around and goes, no, this is not a 1099, it's W-2. You owe $50,000 taxes to pay. So don't get yourself to that situation. If you go onto our YouTube channel that I was showing you, type into subcontractors, pull out the videos that we talked about, how to help you to separating employees from subcontractors. All right, now let's talk about what our clients are doing today related to incentivize employees. A lot of our clients are considering work from home. So some of them use work from home as a reduction factor to payroll. So one of our clients, they're actually more like a collection agency. A lot of those calls on collection was made out of their system, so the employee actually can work from home, right? So now they used to pay by percentage of the collection. So let's say they collected $100, the employee gets $5 for that. And so if they're working from home, that percentage is reduced to 4. So that is how they use work from home as a reduction to the compensation. So that's one way of still give that work from home, but also benefiting the employer, benefiting the business owner, that you lose some productivity in most of the cases. 70% of employee tells you that they have a reduced work hours when they're at home, right? So you lose productivity, but you also are saving some money by reducing that payroll, right? Allow certain employee to do work from home based on performance. So of course you can, if the technology is there, you can work from home, but the best measure is to see that whether your performance is there. If someone could not perform, couldn't even finish the job you were assigned to them, they cannot be in work from home. So at my firm, we actually have a policy to work from home. We have 1 year requirement to be community CPA. You have to work in the firm for a year before to be considered for work from home. But that work from home is further guided by your performance. If your performance is good in 1 month, the next month you can work from home for how many days? But if your performance is not there, no, you cannot work from home, because we knew that work from home is not an increase in production, it's a decrease in production. And you may say that, well, that's not what people tell me. Yes, that's not what people tell you, because if you don't have them work from home, their productivity is even worse. But talking about full productivity for an employee, it is not accomplished from home. It is accomplished in an environment that is concentrated for work and friendly and stressless, so they can perform the best. And Elon Musk announced, right? And everybody has Tesla and come back to work 40 hours a week. So why is Elon Musk doing that? Why would he care? He has the biggest And he has the biggest company, right? Tesla, successful company. He doesn't need to do that, but he announced that. And I will tell you that when a CEO makes those decisions, he did not make that just because he get out the wrong side of the bed and he just suddenly become this way. No, there is research, there is study, and there is advice. And all of these board members of the company, everyone come together to make that decision, and he announced it. So I trust the science behind human behaviors. That is what the study shows. That is how Tesla can be continuously successful, because they turn the dial saying that, yes, 40 hours in the office, the rest we don't regulate. And positioning your relationship with your employee. Okay, that is also what our clients doing. And I summarize that to be supportive and listening. So as a small business, a successful business owner, and you have a little closer relationship than Elon Musk with his worker. Okay, you see each other every day, and they are familiar with you, and you know their personal side a little bit more. All right. So with that kind of relationship, it doesn't allow you to be Elon Musk. Not yet. Maybe you will be one day, but not yet right now. If you're listening to my webinar, I know you're not Elon Musk, and I actually really want to meet him. And in my first book, I wrote about him. But, I wrote to him 2 letters and he never ever got back to me. So I guess I'm not important. And so he won't be on my webinar, but it's okay. You are on my webinar and we are not Elon Musk. And we actually run a business much smaller than Tesla. And our relationship with our staff, it is important. To be supportive, what I mean by that is not that you just give money out. Oh, I support you. Let's give you another $50,000 increase. It doesn't work. I don't care how much increase you give to the person. If this increase did not come in from a hard work, it will be viewed as worthless. To spend money is so easy. Nobody has enough. You have to understand that. Nobody has enough money. Even the people who has enough money in your point of view, they tell you that they don't have money. So after all, nobody have enough money. So money is really, in terms of relationship, means very little. You want to be supportive just means that when your employee needed you, when they're sick, when they needed some help, and when they needed you to say that, okay, I'm going to reduce your workload since you are so stressed out, or you start having mental illness. And that is the supportive hands you need to give. And talking about listening. Listening is not keep silent. You want to hear them, give them a chance to talk to you, hear them, come back, digest, and come up with solution. Really be more tentative to your employee. I think this is what needed between now and next 6 months, if it is not more. Okay, recession lasts. I don't remember the longest time. I think the longest time was 5 years. The shortest time was 2 months. It was the 2 months of, the shortest time was 2022 from February to March. That's a recession, 2 months recession. So position your relationship, folks, and for people, for you, as a successful small business, okay? Communication with the employees, adjust expectations, so important. I am here adjusting your expectations because you may not see recession is coming. Of course, every business is different, right? Hy-Vee is experiencing cutting down, employees. They're experiencing cost increase and the profit drop. And, but some other businesses may not be so. And CPA firms, typically like Community CPA, these type of company, I'm not just speaking for Community CPA, I'm speaking for, generally speaking, for all CPA firms. CPA firms, typically during the recession time, they are not losing business, but the reason for the service changing. In the good economy, you coming up with people with, I made too much money, help to scale me, save taxes, and help me to establish new entities, and so we can do more things. Or I got into a partnership, help us to do the partnership agreement, or even dispute among partners because we made too much money, we don't know how to divide, right? So it's a nature of flowing of money. But in the recession time, CPA firms, businesses has a large part of, oh, helping me do this because I need to file bankruptcy. My bankruptcy paper is due tomorrow, and I need to get my taxes all done in 2 days. Things like that. So it's a little different content, but the busy is still there. But those kind of busy making staff easily stressed, because not only they see you not doing well and filing bankruptcy, at home, they might experience something else. Maybe their spouse got fired, got laid off. So all of these adding a lot of stress to it. You want to talk to employees about it. You want to adjust expectation. I have already started to talk to my staff about coming into recession. We're going to have more people crying, more people complaining. People are on edge, and every little thing staff can make staff mad, manager can make staff mad, or you can make client mad very easily because they're already on edge, right? So those are expectations. Talk about these and explain about the books and record, and have an open book. And what is the bottom line? Why are we not making it? And if you have made $5 and you only have enough money to run payroll, of course you're not gonna survive it. So give that numbers, give that understanding to your staff. That is what my clients are doing right now, and you want to figure out a way to do. I have a client came to us, and he actually runs a pretty large company. And, I say large is like over $50 million a year. So he has close to 20 employees. So, but he has never ever shared his financials with his employees. So whatever he pays, he obviously pays above the market salary. So his employee paid well. But now with the recession coming, he really predicted that recession would hit him. So he is already planning to see what to do with the salary. And at some point of time, it need to reduce the salary, right? So with that, and he come to me, and what he's wanting from our firm is not financial statement, is not a calculation of how much to reduce. So he wanted us to do a pie chart or graphic chart of his company over the years, the status. So he wants to show the graphic chart of 2019, 2020, 2021, and the 2022 annualized number, because he wants to give the employee a idea that, look, we were pretty good in 2019. We went down a little bit on 2020, but 2021 was a pretty okay time. But 2022, this first 6 months start showing significant slowdown. And with annualized number, we're not gonna make it. And look, this big chunk of is our salary, and we really need to collectively reduce our salary so we can continue operation when economy come back better and we come back to the same salary range again. See, that is what you need to do. This is incentivize your employee. This will make sure that they don't jump ship and run away thinking that, my salary got reduced by 10%, I am going to run. So you prevent that by communicating and by showing the book and record in your own way. You don't have to show real numbers. You need to show the understanding. Make sense? And calculating payroll cost with a recession in mind. That's what my client did. And his accountant, in-house accountant already did. Okay, if our sales goes down by this much, and we normally pays about 34% on the salary. So our 34% only give this much dollars to the salary. So let's look at our people and who can we not reduce? Who can we reduce? Maybe someone need to be laid off. And so that is how it works. You work from your sales folks. Don't work from your people. work from your sales, look at how much of a sales was always related to salary, and then you calculate your salary. All right. And explore flexibility, flexible retirement, and offer returnship program. What I mean by returnship program is if you are a company had people who left you, and go back to see whether they are considering coming back. And if they are retired because they don't want to work anymore and they want a break, maybe now, with a recession, maybe they had a new thought, see whether they would come back. So this is where our clients are doing, okay? Of course, there's more. Cutting back on pay, no increase in pay, but announcing that early to set expectation. I already talked about that, right? So really kind of go in to plant the seeds, because you don't want recession hit. You just act like everybody else and adding more fears and more pressure, more stress to your workforce. You want to make that understanding and understand that we're together and we're going to weather this through. And it's no big deal, okay? And maintain the benefit if you can, but tie that to attendance, tie that to work from home. What I mean by that is if you have staff are just really need to work from home, tie that benefit. Let's say, one of my clients, and they offer this emergency, they're physicians. So they offer this after hours call, like if you are the one on duty, you got extra pay for being on duty. But if you are at home, since you're at home, and why are you needing, we don't give you that anymore. So that pay is off. Though you're on duty, even though you're on duty, you're still gonna be on duty because you're at home. When you're at home during the day, you are not working the same way, right? So just tie that with what you pay to the people so that you can work it out. And then the other client of ours, and they offer medical insurance. So medical insurance normally, like in our firm, we pay 80% of the medical insurance, employee pays 20, but our client, this client of ours, they pay 50-50. So what happened is, for the people who work from home full time, and they actually reduce that to 100% paid by them, the employer don't pay. So, you just need to creatively then figure out what is the best way to work this, to work this recession, to meet your financial deadline, but also tie the benefit into what you need to see happening in your company. And vacations. Right now, like in our firm, you can save your vacations, and you save your vacation, you don't take it. At the end of the year, we run that out like a pay. So we have people who save so much vacations during the pandemic time because they all work from home. So there's no really defining factors, vacations or not vacations. So all the vacation were not used, but we run that as extra pay for people at the end of the month. But if your business is struggling and you are afraid of December comes in, that recession is going to sit on you, and you cannot really do a 13 months pay like you normally do. And what you want to do is to make sure they take the vacation, because you want people to take the vacation really in the stressful work environment. Right now, I would say work environment is all stressful because it is so much going on, so many changes. And when recession hit, compliance is a big deal. There's more audit than ever. I am literally telling you, there is more audit than ever coming through the pipeline. You think CPA firm like our firm would have nothing to do? How could we? I mean, the government is going crazy, and IRS hired 10,000 people for ERC. If you don't know about ERC, employer retention credit, a lot of companies are claiming those credit. There's some 1-800 number companies, they come in, they just say, oh, I can do that for you. They don't qualify you. You actually don't even qualify, but you got the money. IRS knows that. IRS is going after you. They hired 10,000 people to train, to audit you. So compliance is a big deal. If you take $20,000 from the government, later on you need to pay back 40 because you pay back original, you pay penalty interest, and compliance, if they got a number put on there, like, form 8300, that's a compliance related to money laundering. If you don't file that form, it's $5,000 per form per penalty. You can easily go on to millions. So it is really a thing. It's just stressful, right? Maybe you hear me talking, you already feel like, man, Ying is stressed. I knew what's going on. I can see it. I am just sitting in this very unique place. Unlike you only see your own business. I am looking at so many business at a glance. So I know what's going on. I am telling you right now, it is stressful. All right. And so with that, you want them to take vacation. Take vacation, take a break, do whatever you want, and work can always be done later. Right? Yeah. Not in my business. And deadline is deadline. If you don't go through the line, you die. So, but in many businesses, work is work, and you just come back to it later. Allow flexibility to give more control of the work. When I say allow flexibility, I am saying that don't cut away work from home. And if you have staff members who just claim that they cannot work and you need them and they need to work from home and they need control of their work, if they can control their work, let them do that. And you just need to discover and find out what can be your measure. What can be your measure in order this person to be able to do what they want to do, right? And if you still have luxury to give out bonus in 2022, you are one of the glowing star in the industry, and you should be proud of yourself. That's why I'm saying you are a successful small business owner, okay? But be mindful. In 2022, you want to give that money mindfully. Tie that directly to performance. I will say that I have a client, and their business is a security, monitoring company. So they contract with commercial buildings to say that, okay, I'll monitor your building. I'll send a person over at night to monitor. So they are that kind of security company, and they employ people to be kind of like the police to go out to look at the site, right? And they have a veterans there, and everything was perfect, knowledgeable, and had done superb job, and had done some really good work for client, caught thief, and robberies and things like that. But just one thing about this person is he never ever show up on the work site on time. That would be the only thing. This person is not perfect employee because he never show up at the client site on time. And if client contracted for 5 p.m. in the evening to start, he'll show up at 6. So he's never really believed that he needs to show up on time. Even though he know it is wrong, he will promise his boss that, oh, I will do it next time. And next time is always not there. So he gets bonus every year for a good work he did. So what happened to our client is he actually tied his bonus with his attendance. So for every complaint they got from their customer for not finding him in the beginning of the shift, and our client will reduce $1,000 out of his bonus. And so this has been done for 1.5 years. And I actually just met the clients last week. And I just remembered because I was going to do this webinar, so I want to know how that worked with his company. Our client told me that since he put in that in the bonus, and the guy has never, ever got any complaints so far, unless his client knows that and don't tell me. So that is what the boss said. Isn't that amazing? So use your mind. You are a successful small business owner. I know you are so smart, and you will find a way to measure, to give money out to your employee with a performance indicator. That will incentivize your employee. All right, so that is the content I want to give to you today. And I hope I really kind of incentivized you to do something different, and also give you the big picture that you know how to work your workforce from here. And being a owner of a successful small business is a long leg game. You don't have many of you out there, and you don't meet them. And you meet me, I'm not in the same industry with you, so my experience may not be the same as yours. It's always like that. But the difference is you are with Community CPA. We are a company has a cluster of successful small businesses. And our small businesses ranging from $1 million to 100 million. You have a variety of content with us, and we share that with you, so you don't play lonely game, and you are not alone. You have us behind you, and I want to see you successful. You let me know whether this webinar had given you all a aha moment, a light bulb, and goes, oh yeah, I'm going to do that. That is all I want to hear. And I appreciate your time, and we will conclude here, and have a very happy Saturday and a good Sunday, and know that you are a successful business owner. You will continue to be one because you are here. Bye-bye.